Hi, my name is Nana and welcome to my channel, A Puzzling Lamb. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Italian brand Sto Puzzle. At least that's how I think you pronounce them. I'm sorry if that's wrong. But Sto Puzzle is a brand that I've been aware of for quite a while, been interested in, been intrigued by. So when the Danish webshop Puzzle, which is also the organizer of the Danish online competitions Puzzle SDK, Puzzle started to sell Sto Puzzle. So of course I bought a few. So as you can see here from these two boxes, this is a brand that definitely have a different aesthetic to a lot of other brands I've seen, and I absolutely love it. So I got two puzzles from them. I bought two puzzles. So first I bought this 500-piece puzzle, and as you can see, I'll go into detail about the box when I start on my review, but as you can see, there's no like real image here on the box of the image, but there are posters. So I'll show you the poster here for the 500-piece puzzle. I really love this one. And then I got a 1,000-piece puzzle, this one, and this is the one I'm going to be doing in this review video. So again, here with the poster, you can see the image. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, let's just get right into it with the review of this puzzle from the Italian brand Sto Puzzle. This box is like no other box I've ever seen before. It's very aesthetically beautiful and I love it. So as you can see, it's a really nice, small, compact size. I love that. Here on the front, you don't have the image at all. You can see it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. You have Sto Puzzle down here. And then you have the name of the puzzle. And I'm really not going to try and pronounce that. But it's designed in a way that just, aesthetically fits the image. And it has elements of the image on it. It's so beautiful. And on the front, you also have the artist, art by Jungle Girl. Love this. Then on the sides here, I think it says that Sto Puzzle have a playlist with music you can listen to while you do the puzzle. On this side, again, you have the name of the puzzle. And on this side, you have a logo. And then on this side, you have the only version you get of the image on the box. And as you can see, it's not all of the image, but I know there is a poster inside, so all is good. Now, when you buy these online, you obviously see a full image of the image, so you know what you're going to get. I guess if you bought this at a physical store, you wouldn't quite know. That might be an issue, but yeah, honestly, I really do love how they focused on the aesthetics of it. On the back here, you have a really fun graphic. I love this character here, this puzzle piece character. Now all of this is in Italian. Obviously, I don't know Italian. I did Google Translate this, and this just talks about Sto Puzzle and puzzles in general, I think, and what you get out of it. But I really enjoy this design here. Now, if we quickly take a look and compare with the 500-piece puzzle. Now, as you can see, this text here, it's different. This one also matches the image and has also elements of the image in it. So I really like how it's very clearly the same aesthetics here, but they're also really different. And as you can see, the size of the box on these sides are the same, but then it's just not as tall. Sorry, it's just not as tall. And I really love this. So when you have them on your shelf, they're the same height. And as you can see here again with the different text types. Now, one thing that is a bit different when you look on the back here, because here they do talk about the artist for this puzzle. And I really love that when they focus on the artists. I don't know the dates when these puzzles were released, if this is something they started to do later, or why there's info about the artist here and not on this one. But again, you do have right here on the front the artist. So love that. Now, the box itself is also in quality a bit different than anything I've seen before. So as you can see, I think here, you can see it is a box that is folded out of cardboard. So it's not as sturdy as a lot of other boxes. You know, it's almost kind of like soft to touch, but I don't feel like it's a choice they made to make the puzzle cheaper. I kind of feel like it's a deliberate design choice, what you want to call it. I don't have the feeling that, you know, it's not a really sturdy box, but I don't have the feeling that it's a bad quality box. And anyway, I really do love the size of this one. Now let's open it up. So inside you can see we have the pieces in a plastic bag. Now, I don't think the box was wrapped in plastic. It's one of those things I often forget to mention, simply because I forget whether a puzzle was wrapped in plastic or not. When I do get puzzles wrapped in plastic, I'm saying that a lot now, wrapped in plastic, I always remove it right away because I really don't like the look of plastic on my puzzles on my shelves. So I often just really remember whether that was the case or not. But I don't think this one was wrapped in plastic. Now, as you can see down here, we have a poster of the entire image. And I love this size poster. It's a really nice quality, but it's just the perfect size poster for me. It's not too big and it's not too small. Yeah, I really love that. And let's just check. I believe that the poster in the 500 piece puzzle, oh yeah, I have to show you. In the 500 piece puzzle, there's a little few extra things. So there's some stickers and there's this card here that's also really fun. So that's, I don't know if this is something that is in all the 500 piece puzzles or if it's just something that is in some of the puzzles, and it happened to be in my 500 piece puzzle. But you have a poster here with that, and that is exactly the same size. So yeah, I really do love this size poster. You know how I feel. If you watched a lot of my videos, you know how I feel about posters that are too big. I absolutely hate, okay, hate is a strong word. I can't really use full-size posters for anything, but I really love this size. But let's take a look at the pieces. And it's a non-resealable bag, yeah. So that would have been cool if it were a resealable bag, but as I mentioned, I don't think the box was wrapped in plastic, so that's good. Get all the pieces. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is that there are a lot of pieces that are still stuck together. But let's see. So this is just in the corner. This one is perhaps a little bit more difficult to take apart, but I don't need scissors or anything. So let's see, this is also in the corners. So there are a lot of pieces that are stuck together. I'll definitely have to take those apart before I start my puzzle, but it does seem like they are easy. It's not, you know, sometimes get puzzles where the pieces are actually cut all the way through. They just haven't been taken apart. These aren't cut all the way through. They are stuck together right at the corners, but they are very easy to take apart. One thing I can with this, I can already get a sense that the fit will be really nice and tight. But yeah, so that is something to note. But otherwise, let's just take a look at the pieces. So the thickness seems like just really standard thickness. They feel really sturdy. There are a lot of different piece shape types here. Let's see. Yeah, there are a lot of pieces that are still stuck together. But yeah, different piece shape types, and it also looks like that the pieces within the same piece shape types have very different shapes. So that's also good. Yeah, but they feel really sturdy. The surface is very slightly shiny, but they're not completely matte, but I also wouldn't. They're not the most shiny pieces I've seen either. Like, yeah, really lovely, smooth, and I don't mind my pieces having a bit of shine to them. It often makes the colors pop a bit more. But yeah, it's very slight, the shine. And let's just take a look at the colors. So we have this red piece here. Yeah, I think that looks to be pretty much the same color. I can't see any obvious difference in the colors. This is probably from down here. Yeah, I think that looks like the colors match. Oh, sorry, can you see that? I think it looks like the colors do match from the poster to the pieces. Now, I can't really get a sense of puzzle dust in this box, but it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch down here. But if I remember, as you know, I tend to not really notice puzzle dust, but if I remember, I'll come back to you with how much puzzle dust there is. And as you can see here, the box is the perfect size for the pieces. Yeah, really, really love this size box. Also, the image quality seems also like nice and clear. Doesn't look pixelated or anything. So yeah, really the only negative thing I have to say about the pieces right now is the amount of pieces that is still stuck together. But otherwise, it really looks great. I can't see any damaged pieces. Yeah, and again, like they feel really, really sturdy. They're not like super, super thick pieces. They're not thin either, really standard, but they just seem really sturdy. Now, strategy with this image. I don't quite know what to expect with the difficulty of this one, because there's not a lot of different colors, not a lot of different elements to sort out. So it might be really difficult, but like depending on how much gradient I can spot in all this, it might actually turn out to be pretty easy. I will definitely sort out the edges first. Again, I don't think will necessarily be that difficult of an edge. I don't know how much gradient there is here, but yeah, I'll definitely sort out the edge and do that first, and then perhaps just sort out any of these elements here that is clearly part of this Pinocchio character. And I can't remember the English word for this animal here, but you know, anything that has anything on it that is clearly not background, there'll probably be parts of this that I won't be able to tell if it's this or if it's the background. But yeah, perhaps I'll also pull out any really light pieces. So this corner down here will be sorted. Yeah, I might also do that. And then that might actually be the first thing I do, all of this light. Or I'll do these other things I pull out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to taking all of these pieces apart. But I'm really looking forward to doing this image, and the quality does seem really nice. Yeah, really interested interested in finding out how difficult this image is, but it'll definitely be beautiful when it's done. So let me get started and I'll come back to you when I'm about halfway. Okay, so I'm jumping in here a little bit sooner in my process than I had planned. But I just want to mention has been ages since I started on this puzzle, which has nothing to do with the puzzle at all. Right after I started on it, I just got super busy and didn't really have time to film. So I think it's actually been almost a month since I started on this puzzle and almost 2 weeks since I worked on it last. So yeah, again, it has nothing to do with the puzzle. I just simply haven't had the time. But I have the time now. I really want to get this done. I am absolutely loving this puzzle. So as you could see, I actually didn't start by doing the edge like I normally would, but I just started on this Pinocchio character and this, I still can't remember what that animal was called. Those pieces just really stood out. So I just couldn't help myself. I put that together, even though I do like having an edge first. But it was, yeah, it just called out to me. And then as you saw, I did the edge. The way I sorted it is that obviously I took the edge pieces. And then as you can see here, I made a pile with these like really obvious pieces. I think, okay, it's been a while now, okay? I can't remember if I made a pile with these or if I just pulled them out of here. Anyway, I made a pile with some very light white pieces, a pile with the more darker background pieces, and then a pile with everything else. And as I said, I can't really remember if I did a pile with these or if I just pulled these out of here. But yeah, it's not a very thorough sort, this. I mean, there are some pieces here that could probably be over there and some here that could be in one of these piles. But I still think it's nice to have them roughly sorted like this. Now, about the quality. So, I have actually done a few puzzles with this quality before. I did actually notice that when I looked through the pieces right when I had got the puzzle, forgot all about it again, and then when I started sorting, I noticed it again. I re-noticed it. So the piece cut, the fit, the overall quality is exactly the same as another Italian brand I've tried, which I really can't remember the name of right now. I have a lot of their puzzles. I'll put it up on screen. It's the name of the artist behind the brand. And the only difference is the surface of the pieces. So with that other brand, the surface is completely matte, almost velvety. With this one, it has a like very slight shine to it. So the surface is a little bit different, but other than that, it's exactly the same quality. And I love it. So I have no false fits. There's no damaged pieces. There were a lot of pieces still stuck together. I think I took a picture with all the pieces that were still stuck together, or most of the pieces that were still stuck together. And that is definitely a lot. But I were able to pull them apart without damaging them, and there were no other damaged pieces at all. If you are someone who would rather have a slightly looser fit than a tighter fit, this puzzle isn't for you. So, as you can see, the fit of these is absolutely amazing. They're so tight, and you really have to push in a piece. Let me see if I can take one apart here so you can perhaps get a feeling of it. So you can see you really, I don't know if you could sense that there, but you really have to push in the pieces. And I absolutely love it. As I said, I could see some people not liking so tight a fit. I love it, and as you can see, it still feels pretty easy to take the pieces apart, but they're just so satisfying to click into place, push into place. So what I'm going to do now, I really don't know. So as I said, it's been a while since I worked on this, so yeah, I really need to get back into it, get reacquainted with the image. I think perhaps I'll start working on all of this white down here. I don't know if it would be easier here, I mean, there are more details here, but I actually also think it might be quite difficult, this animal. Yeah, I think I'm going to start with the white pieces, and when I get stuck, I'll start on those pieces. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into this puzzle. I really am enjoying the quality, and I really think I'm going to enjoy the image. Will perhaps be a bit difficult, but that doesn't rule out me having a good time with it. So, since I checked back in with you here a little bit earlier than I normally would, I think I'll do a second check in once I'm a little bit further and I know a little bit more of the difficulty of the image, and I can tell you about my experience with all of this background here. But now I'm just really looking forward to getting back into this beautiful puzzle. I have made some progress. As you can see, almost all of the light section is done. I have a few holes here and there, but almost all of the light section and this fairy here, she was really easy to spot. I am loving this. It is definitely a challenge. So I ended up really just having the box with those light pieces and this box with all of these miscellaneous, I can't say that word, all of these other pieces here. I just had those two boxes next to me at the same time and kind of jumped between those two boxes. So all of this fairy here, I pulled that out from this box. Again, super easy to spot. This star here, some of those pieces were also in here. Yeah, it's a challenge, but there are still a lot of things to work off besides the like slight gradient. So yeah, the star, that fairy there, these pieces of paper, all of the birds, and also there are just some really like subtle lines that if you really look closely you can see here they're more yellow, the lines down here they're more like brown or purple, the lines. So yeah, there are some things to look for. So it's a challenge, but it's a nice challenge, a fun challenge. The quality I still absolutely love. I have perhaps had a few places where I've put a piece in wrong, but I won't call it a false fit because, once I've looked at it closer, it didn't actually look like it would fit there. I just, didn't look properly when I put it in place. That sometimes happens where I put in a piece. After a while, I look at it again and think, what was I thinking? That obviously doesn't go there. So I don't think that's the puzzle's fault. The fit, again, so satisfying. They actually kind of remind me of Pinsu or Pisulax pieces, which are plastic pieces. This obviously isn't plastic pieces. So it's not the same experience at all, but there's still something about the way you have to push in the pieces that reminds me of those. Absolutely love it. So as you can see, I still am missing quite a lot of the puzzle here. So you can see it's all of the dark sections. But the next thing I'm going to do is definitely to look through this box here. So I think that is a lot of this animal here and its bag. I did put together a little bit of it. I have these pieces here I've had on the table for ages that goes here somewhere also. But yeah, it's definitely looking through these pieces. And then I have these pieces left, which is just a box of dark pieces, but definitely when you look closer, there are a lot of different colors down here, and some of these more lighter pieces in this box definitely goes down here. So yeah, again, I also think this is going to be a challenge, but yeah, a doable challenge, and this box is definitely what I'm going to tackle next. So yeah, loving this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this puzzle finished. It's going to be so beautiful. So this puzzle is not for you if you don't enjoy a challenge, because it was definitely a challenge, but it was not impossible. I loved it. I love being challenged sometimes, and yeah, I really think this was a perfect difficulty level for a challenging puzzle that is, as I said, not at all impossible. So there are enough color differences. Of course, there are some elements all over the place that can help. And even here, where it looks a lot of the same, it looks very same-ish, there's still enough color differences to make this a fun experience. And this is just an absolutely beautiful image. It's so beautiful when it's put together. Really love it. And the finished result is definitely worth the challenge of putting this together. Yeah, so beautiful. Now, talking about the quality, let's just get it out of the way at the beginning here. The one negative thing I have to say about the quality, and it is the large amount of pieces that were still stuck together. Now, it was in no way a deal breaker for me, simply because they were very easy to pull apart the pieces without them breaking or being damaged in any way. I didn't need any scissors or small knives or anything. They were very easy to pull apart. I don't know why that's difficult for me to say. They were very easy to pull apart. So yeah, the negative thing was really just the time I had to spend pulling all those pieces apart. But yeah, definitely something that needs mentioning. And also, I did take a look at the pieces from the 500-piece puzzle. It also looks like there are quite a lot of pieces in there that is still stuck together. And as I mentioned in my review, I realized I've done this quality before from another brand. Actually, it's the one you can see here, also an Italian brand. And I'm not 100% sure because it's a little while since I've done one of those puzzles. But thinking back, I'm pretty sure I also had quite a lot of pieces stuck together with all of the ones I've done of these. So that's just to say, I don't think it's a dot that I had, that there were so many pieces still stuck together. I think it is a genuine issue with this quality. But again, might be a deal breaker for you. It wasn't for me easy to pull apart. I'll definitely buy more puzzles from this brand despite that, because everything else was absolutely amazing. The pieces were sturdy. I loved the variation in the piece shapes. Didn't really have any false fits. And yeah, as I said, the variation of the pieces, I could really use the piece shapes, which was important with a image here with so many not necessarily solid colored pieces, but just very, pieces when when there weren't a lot of things going on in that piece. It was really nice that the variation in the piece shapes, that I could really use the piece shapes to figure out which piece to use. And yeah, the biggest thing with this quality is definitely how tight the pieces are. And again, that is a huge positive for me. I thought it was extremely satisfying to put in the pieces. I love a tight fit like that. I do recognize that some people might not like that. So if you are one who prefers a looser fit, then this brand might not be for you. But if you're like me, love a tight fit, love that satisfying snap, how you have to push in the pieces, this brand is definitely for you. And I have taken apart the puzzle now, and despite this super tight fit, it was very easy to take apart. Of course, it took a little while compared to one that would just crumble as you touched it, but it was still very easy to take the pieces apart, and there were no damaged pieces during that process, which is a worry with pieces that fit so tight. I have tried brands that have very tight fitting pieces, and it's amazing when I do the puzzle, but then when I take it apart, I really have to be careful not to break the pieces. But yeah, this was no problem. So all in all, absolutely love the quality of these puzzles. I think it is one of my absolute favorite puzzle qualities, actually. yeah, super, super satisfying. And again, taking a look at that 500 piece puzzle I have, it also looks like, it's the same pieces. It's not bigger pieces. It's, a lot of brands can have very different qualities between their piece counts. But yeah, these looked to be exactly the same. So I'm so looking forward to doing the 500 piece puzzle I still have in my collection. And now for the boxes. I absolutely love these boxes. I really love the design of these. I love the size of these. The only thing that is a slight negative for me is that I do wish they were made of some sturdier material. Now, I think I mentioned that when I showed these boxes in my review, that it feels like it's a deliberate choice from them. It doesn't feel like it's necessarily a choice they made just to save some money on some cheaper packaging. But yeah, I don't know if I can explain it right, but yeah, it does feel like a aesthetic choice with this type of packaging here. I do wish it was some slightly sturdier material. I don't think I showed that in my review, but you can perhaps see that this box actually did get a little bit bent. Perhaps you can see it. It got a little bit bent here doing shipping. But yeah, other than that, absolutely love the aesthetic of this and absolutely love the size of these boxes. Yeah, really love it. I think it's just so unique. A big fan. And now for a few general things about Sto Puzzle. So looking at their website, I'll put up some images here. You can see that they have an amazing collection of images to choose from. They don't have like the biggest catalog ever, but I absolutely love the images, and they are all by real artists, which I love. And I love that they also focus on the artist. So as you could see here from the boxes, they put the name of the artist on the front of the box, and also on the product page for each puzzle there is a little section where you can read something about the artist. So yeah, love the focus on the artist, and also just the variation in art styles they have available is really great. If you're into modern illustrations, I think you can find an image you love from their collection. They also both have 1000 pieces and 500 piece puzzles, which I love. I think that opens them up to, a bigger customer base. So even if you're one who only does 500 piece puzzles, they have a great selection of those. In fact, they have 2 500 piece puzzles that are definitely on my wish list. They're by the artist Marla Cruz. Not pronounced correctly, I don't know, but they are absolutely amazing. I'll put them up here high on my wish list. Love those. And they also have, I think, 4 100 piece puzzles, all by the same artist. Again, I'm absolutely going to butcher this name, but I'm going to try. Divucci. I don't know. They're amazing, and even though it's only 4 100 piece puzzles, I still think it's amazing that there's some variation in the piece counts they offer. I think those 100 piece puzzles, you can also buy those as a set. And looking at the product images, the boxes for those puzzles also look super cute. So yeah, absolutely love the variation in puzzles. Now prices. So the 1000 piece puzzles costs 23.9 euros, and the 500 piece puzzles costs 19.9 euros. And I absolutely think the puzzles is worth that. I think the puzzles is worth more than that. I will happily pay that price for them. So it's actually for the 500 piece puzzle, it is right around there, that price that I gave buying mine in Denmark from the web shop Puslestudiet. My 1000 piece puzzle, I did pay a little bit more than they cost on Sto Puzzle's website. That's completely normal when I, buy from somewhere else, from a small company like Puslestudiet. And yeah, really cannot complain about the prices for their puzzles. So yeah, in conclusion, it's really only if you prefer looser fitting pieces that I wouldn't recommend this brand for you, but to everyone else, if you love a tight fit, if you love unique art by real artists, if you love puzzles with a unique aesthetic, a brand that does something a little bit different and where you get your money's worth, where the quality is really great and the price is really great, yeah, definitely recommend this brand, and I really hope to expand my own collection of Sto Puzzles in the future. Again, they have so many images that I love, and I am really looking forward to seeing what they get in the future. Actually, they have a section on their website where you can see what puzzles they have had but don't have anymore. So yeah, it's a bit dangerous to go in and look at that because there's also some puzzles on that list that I would have loved to have, but they don't have them anymore. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent to go on. Sorry. I definitely recommend this brand, and I'm really looking forward to doing the other puzzle from them that I have. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.